What's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm from California, you know what I mean? And when we go out of state, it's a big deal. But over here in Virginia, man, you guys go out of state for breakfast. And out here in Virginia, man, y'all serious about, carrying those registered guns? Yeah, I seen a dude the other day, he had 2 guns on him. You know what I mean? And we was just playing basketball. He had one in the small of his back, one over here in his ankle. You know what I'm saying? We was just shooting hoop. And when we was picking teams at the beginning of the game, I didn't even want to pick him because, you know what I'm saying, he had all that cargo. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, man, it's going to slow him down. Some dude came up to me and he was like, nah. You want to pick him. He shoot better with the strap. He shoot better with the strap. So I picked him up, man. Out here in Virginia, you know, there's some racism out here. You know, it's a trip, though. You know, I don't believe it when somebody says, I don't have a racist bone in my body. You know, that's so, like, vague. You know what I mean? Like, what about a racist colon? You know, or a racist ligament? Don't fall for that, people. White people is a trip, though. Man, white people, they will eat anything. Serious, man. They'll eat anything. And they be knowing how stuff tastes, too. They be, like, describing the taste. You know, like a white dude told me he ate an antelope. And he was like, yeah, it tastes gamey. I said, gamey? What you mean? Like it tastes like a Sega Genesis? And there's a lot of white people in here right now. If a tsunami hit this place, man, in about 5 minutes afterwards, it's gonna smell like a wet dog in here. But, you know, black people, we got our issues too. I heard over in Chicago, I heard Facebook Live is more popping than anywhere else. If I'm in Chicago and somebody starts filming with that Facebook Live right next to me, oh, we fighting. We about to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to die up in here. You know what I mean? People say the problem is you got to send your kids to college, stuff like that, you know, to avoid like the Chicago issues. Man, me myself, man, I ain't trying to send my kid to Harvard or nothing like that. I'm trying to send him to the Electoral College. That's where they make the impossible possible. Look at this dude right here. You know, he got the suit on and stuff, looking all political. You know, over here near Washington, D.C. Yeah, man, you look like Speaker of the House. Or maybe like Speaker of the apartment. Come out talking about, yeah, we got a leaky faucet and the toilet is clogged up. Man, them women in Hollywood, people think that they bulimic, like they go to that reason why they skinny is because they bulimic, like they go to the bathroom and throw up, stuff like that. But really, a lot of those women are just pure hungry, straight up, and they be using guys for dates. You know, using guys on a date, go out on a date just to use them to get a meal. Yeah, I took this girl out to eat. I mean, she was real slim. You know, we got on the phone and stuff, and she seemed like she didn't really want to see me. But then I told her, you know, hey, you want to get something to eat? Man, when I told her she wanted to get something to eat, she damn near jumped through the phone. Yeah. And we met up, you know, to go get something to eat and stuff. And, you know, I hugged her when I seen her. And, man, I felt all this girl's rib cage. Like, I didn't even know we had 6 ribs on this side and 7 ribs on this side. But I could tell when I was hugging her. It was like a health class, just hugging her. We go out on a date. You know, we sitting there eating and stuff, right? And it's some Italian food. And I'm waiting to see if she gonna say her prayer before she eat, because I love a Christian woman. And I looked and she didn't even say her prayer. She just got the grubbing, you know. And so I just, you know, I did my prayer. I said my prayer. And when I lift my head up to say amen, she was done eating, man. She was licking her finger. I was like, damn, baby. You know, damn. Baby was hungry. Then she gonna tell me I gotta go. You know, I ain't even got started on my food yet. She talking about she gotta run. Seen her the next week with a different dude at the steakhouse. He was the same situation. She was trying to hop in an Uber, and he just barely started cutting into his steak. I took my uncle and his friend out to eat with me and these two girls, these two Latinas. And I knew the one Latina, you know, we was cool. You know, but we didn't have no sexual, you know, she wanted to like have sex. I didn't really want to, you know, I was just playing it cool. But anyway, we went out to eat, and her friend, and it was my uncle and his friend, and everything was cool. We ate dinner, it was cool, and then right when we was done eating, I was ready to go. I thought, you know, the time was up, but I didn't realize that was when the stuff just was beginning, you know. And my uncle and his friend, they started kind of like just making all these sexual jokes and stuff, and the girls was loving it, you know. And the one girl that was with me, you know, my friend or whatever, she was like wondering why I wasn't participating. You know, she was like, "Why are you so standoffish? Why are you so standoffish?" I was over it though. You know, then my uncle started talking about sexual experiences he had. He was talking about how some girl put some beads in his ass and how he was pulling the beads out and they was just progressively getting smaller and smaller. You know, I was like, oh man. And then I thought about it. I realized I didn't think about it because my uncle and his friend, they like go to drug anonymous meetings, but they also go to sex anonymous meetings. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't realize it. I'm like, man, these dudes are some sex addicts. So I mixed some sex addicts with some Latinas that was ready to go. Man, that was... I wasn't trying to be a cock blocker. I didn't, you know... I wasn't expecting all that. Black women don't believe nothing. Yeah, man, I like dating black women, but they don't believe nothing, man. This girl I used to date, she used to always send me to the store. Go get this, go get that. And I'll go get it, you know. But anyway, I told her this one time, I was like, oh, the doctors just said that the orthopedic doctor told me I tore my meniscus. And she was like, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. What you talking about? You Nabisco. What Nabisco got to do with anything? I was like, nah, it's my meniscus. She's like, you just don't want to go run to the store. Stop making excuses. I was like, nah, I tore my meniscus. She's like, what the fuck is a meniscus? I ain't never heard of no meniscus. I went to the doctor the other day, and he didn't tell me that I had a meniscus. How? So if you ain't got one, how? If I ain't got one, how you got one? I'm like, damn, but you went to the gynecologist, right? Black women don't be believing nothing, man. And then black women say, oh, there ain't no available black men out there no more. Them women, they must ain't been down to the welfare office. Because it's like the Million Man March down there. Man, there's this Senate Majority Leader named Republican named Mitch McConnely. Yeah, he's a trip, man. I like paying attention to him. He the way he talks and stuff, you know, it's just I want to imitate him, you know, before I imitate anybody else. Mitch McConnell, he was talking to the people in Kentucky the other day who was mad about their insurance is about to be like null and void. So he was talking to them. He's like up there like this. Well, the thing with Obamacare is that it really damaged the private sector because there's two ways that people commonly go about getting their medical insurance. One of them being through their job with Medicare, and then there's other ones who go through Medicaid. But when Obamacare came about, it really damaged the private sector. And another issue was the people with pre-existing conditions. So we're going to try to repeal Obamacare, but that's the conundrum, is that the people with pre-existing conditions, because the state usually has a state-only uh, medical um, care system for people with pre-existing conditions, but what Obamacare did was it totally wiped that out. So it really became a 2,700 page document of mayhem. So we really need to try to come up with a solution for that. And as my job as the Senate Majority Leader from Kentucky, as you know, my job is complicated because my job is kind of like similar to a groundskeeper at a cemetery. Everybody's below me, but nobody's listening. So, that in essence, I need to still enact the proper procedures. And a lot of people are mad about Donald Trump right now. But the thing is, his cabinet is extraordinary. I mean, it's no different than what Bush, if it was Bush that would have made it to presidency, or if it was Rubio that made it to presidency, it would really be no difference. But what Trump did was he elected somebody to the judicial that was from California, and this guy, bar none, is one of the best circuit judges, hands down. And Trump elected him. And so there's a lot of things about Donald Trump that he's not getting credit for. You ask how do I feel about the tweets? The constant tweeting by President Trump? Well, you can use your imagination how I feel about the tweets. But other than that, I mean, it's really looking optimistic, to say the least. There's been a lot of changes enacted, and people are also concerned about Rex Tillerson and his speaking with Russia and Mexico. But the thing is Rex Tillerson, he really has that experience with dealing with international issues on the diplomat level and higher. So we really are in good hands with the entire cabinet, really. I mean, when you look at Ben Carson, I mean, being of African American descent, handling HUD and the inner city urban issues, there's some people who criticize Mr. Ben Carson, saying that he is not the sharpest tool in the shed, like referring to him as like a butter knife. But realistically, he's conservative, and we believe as long as he keeps his values towards the middle when he's out there in places like Chicago, that we really could be looking at solution-based amendments. So I know a lot of people here in Kentucky are very upset and very unsure, suspicious, concerned, but realistically, you need to just sit back and allow us to make all the processions necessary. And I can assure you that in the long run, everyone will be satisfied.